everyone. Today let's take a look on something different, which is not, let's say, directly associated with Revit, but it is needed if you need to have some CAD files as a reference inside of your Revit project. So you should know how to clean them properly. So in this example, I have some file from a consultant, which looks something like this. If we take a look in here, you can see that it has around 1 megabyte. It has some reference in here. And when it comes to layers, it has a lot of layers. So we need to somehow make this a little bit cleaner before linking it into Revit file. So let's start. First of all, I will move this away. We should delete all the geometry that we do not actually need for our reference. So in this example, I have a geometry that is really far away from anything else. This happens a lot of times in CAD files. So I will just select all with the Control A. I would deselect the geometry that I want to leave and just delete the geometry. You can see that I was able to erase 2 geometries found. The next step is to just go and select with the select similar and delete the things that I do not want, like this. Okay, probably. Okay, this is already in a block, so I cannot delete this, but I can delete those blocks. Okay, now it looks better. Now if I select all, you can see that it is actually all from block references. Block references are really bad in a file, especially in CAD files, and especially in files that are not like directly from CAD file, but from some different file, because they usually have many bad definitions in them and they can make you a lot of mess in your Revit project and slow it down like super easily. So you should always explode all of the blocks in your file. So I will go and with my explode command, I will explode my blocks. Now I will check and you can see I still have some block references here. So I need to filter them. So I will again select all with the Control A shortcut. And I will go to my quick select tool and select only block references. Okay. I think I can delete those. Looks better. I can delete probably attribute definitions as well. So I will do the same now. Go to quick select. Let's go with attribute definitions and delete them. Okay, I do not need this geometry. Neither this one. Okay, now it looks a little bit better. So now if I select it all, you can see that I have some lines, some 3D faces, ellipses, circles, arcs, points, polylines, polyface, mesh, and splines. You should always aim to have only like 2D elements, so I need to delete those 3D faces and polyface meshes. And that is because even though I have this file as a 2D file, actually if I rotate here now in my CAD file, and you should always check this, sometimes you get a geometry in 3D even though you do not know that there is some geometry like this. So as you can see, I need to delete all of these because I will be like, what I need in my Revit file is just this 2D geometry for the reference. So I should simplify this geometry as much as possible to not slow down my Revit file. So I will go again, select all. With my quick select, I will go to my 3D faces and delete those. Again, the same thing. Now I will go with my meshes, delete those. Okay, you can see it looks something like this. If I go back to the 2D representation, it looks like this. If I select it all, you can see that I have only lines, ellipses, circles, arcs, points, polylines, and splines. So now I have only 2D elements. But as you can see, if I go to my 3D view, I still have some 2D elements that are like in the 3D space. So if I do not want them, and usually do not want them, I will just select them all and delete. Okay, now it looks better. And I will go and select all of the points because I do not want those either, and delete them. Okay, so now you can see that I have some 236 elements, and all of them are lines, ellipses, circle, arc, polyline, and spline. So I'm okay with that. Now I will remove all of the XREFs that are there. I have only one, but sometimes you have like many. So I'll just go and detach it. So I want to have only my file. Okay, now I will go and select all again and change the color to be by layer and the layer to be, let's say 0, only one layer. So this way I will have everything on the same layer in my Revit. Sorry, not Revit, but AutoCAD. So as you can see, I can get rid of this now. So I will go and just purge the file. And I want to purge everything that is possible to be purged. Sometimes you have to check and make it run many times, or like 2 or 3 times, to be able to purge it all until you will have it grayed out like this. So this means that it is purged all. Now you can see that I have only one layer. So this is how it should be. And I have only my file in here. The next thing you can do is to use flatten. It will try to move all your geometry to one place, so it will have the 0 in the Z coordinate. But I will not be using it in this example. The next thing is to use the audit tool and fix all of the errors. The next thing we can do is to use overkill to remove overlapping lines. So I will again select all, go with my overkill. I will leave it like this, hit OK. And you can see that I was able to delete one duplicated object and 25 overlapping objects. Okay, I will purge again. Okay, it is all purged. And now if I will save my file, I will save it as a new file. Let's go with my consultant file 2. Hit save. Okay, now you can see that I was able to make my file much smaller. This one is 34 kilobytes and the previous one was around 1 megabyte. So you should always try to clean your DVG files in the way that it will be as small as possible without any external references. All the geometry will be placed only on one layer, and there will be only one layer. You should purge all. Sometimes flatten, audit, remove overlapping lines, so use overkill. Check also in 3D for the 3D geometry. Always explode all of the blocks and delete all the geometry that is not needed. And you should aim for having only like 2D geometries. As you can see here, lines, ellipses, circles, arcs, polylines, and so on and so forth. So this way, if you prepare your DVGs like this, it will be much easier for Revit later to work, and it will not be slowing it down that much as if you did not do this.